Hi there. I am ready to bake this keto lemon pound cake. As I've been on this whole keto-ish way of eating, I've been looking for different recipes that are keto friendly that are also delicious. I have never been a big sweet eater at all, but sometimes you want a little something sweet. Pound cake is something that my family sometimes likes to enjoy. So I was like, let me find a keto one. So anyway, I have this keto pound cake recipe. I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are, and then we're going to get to baking it. If you're not familiar with the keto lifestyle, it's just a way of eating low carb, moderate protein, and high fat, but high good fat foods. So you really definitely do low carb. Normally, I think about maybe 20 to 25 net carbs a day is what you're eating in keto, and I think a low carb way of eating may be like 50 or less carbs. But again, for keto, you're looking at between 20, less than 25 for sure. Watching those carbs, and again watching the sugar. So as opposed to regular sugar or sugar substitute, you're looking at a more natural sugar. So for me today, our keto lemon pound cake recipe, I'm going to give you the ingredients now, and I'm looking down to see what it is. It is a half a cup of butter softened, so I've had my butter sitting out. It also calls for 6 ounces of cream cheese, so I'll cut off 2 ounces from my Philadelphia cream cheese pack. Again, keto, full fat. Don't look for the low fat substitutes. No, we're going full fat. Okay, so 6 ounces of the cream cheese. I got 4 large eggs. I had bought some cage-free eggs from Sam's Club, and thankfully I have just enough left for this cake. So 4 large eggs. We also using 2 teaspoons of lemon extract. I'm going to do about a half a teaspoon of vanilla or something. I'll see. We'll mix the two up and see, because I'm not a big lemon person either. We will use a little bit of baking powder, a little bit of salt, and then I talked about the sugar, the natural sugar blend. So I have an organic stevia blend, and it calls for 3/4 cups of this. So 3/4 cups of the sugar that I'll add in, and I'm looking forward to it being a delicious, delicious keto-friendly treat. Low carb, no sugar, yum yum. It also has a recipe for glaze to go over this pound cake. I'm not going to use the glaze, but in case you are interested, the glaze includes a cup of the confectioner sugar. So I don't have confectioners anyway, so I know I won't be doing the glaze. But anyway, it calls for a cup of the Swerve confectioner sugar, 3 tablespoons of half and half, and a half a teaspoon of lemon extract. So that's what the glaze is. So we shall see how this is going to turn out. Again, a half a cup of butter, 6 ounces of cream cheese, 3/4 cups of your sweetener, 2 teaspoons of pure lemon extract, about a half of this, a teaspoon of vanilla, but again, you mix and match to your tasting. We are going to use 2 cups of almond flour. I will have 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 4 large eggs. So let's get to baking. Right. So I'm mixing together the 2 cups of almond flour, a teaspoon and a half of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And that's all being mixed together in a separate bowl that will then be added to the mixture that includes the cream cheese and the eggs. So I've already added my half cup of butter, 6 ounces of cream cheese, and now I'm going to add the 3/4 cup of sweetener to the mixing bowl as the instructions dictate. And I am to mix these together with an electric mixer. So we're going to get that going, and I'll be back. After I mix all this together, then we add 1 egg at a time in. All right, let the mixing begin. Now we have the cream cheese mixture all together, and then I have the almond flour and everything. The almond flour, the baking soda, baking powder, not baking soda, the baking powder, as well as the salt mixed in here. And I am now going to add the dry mix to the wet mix. Alrighty. Alright, so I've got everything mixed together. Here is the consistency. It is kind of thick. I was surprised because the recipe says to spoon it into the pan, and I see why, because it's definitely thick. I have a loaf pan here ready to go, as well as the parchment paper. So like I said, the direction says to spoon the mixture into the pan with the parchment paper, and then we are going to be baking it on a temperature of 350 for 45 to 55 minutes, or until nicely set and golden brown. So ready to spoon the mixture in, and then we'll be baking, and we'll check out the final result. Almost there. So my lemon keto pound cake is about to go into the oven. Again, 45 to 55 minutes. And the recipe that I'm using, it came from a website. I just Googled a keto lemon pound cake recipe. So the recipe that I'm using is from totemptation.com, totemptation.com. My only change that I did was, as opposed to using 2 teaspoons of lemon extract, I use about a teaspoon and a half of lemon, and then half a teaspoon for vanilla. So into the oven we go. It smells delicious. I've never used lemon extract because, again, I'm not a baker, but it smells really, really good. So I'm excited to see the finished product. As I looked at some of the reviews, people talked about it being more a cake slash bread like texture. So we'll see what's what. And it is thick. Thicker than like when you do a normal pound cake, but looking forward to it. Still heavy, like a pound cake for sure. Even in my little bitty loaf pan. All right, let's see our finished product. Kitchen smells delicious while the keto pound cake is cooking. And I'm enjoying my chicken soup. Keto friendly also. Along with my leftover tortilla chips that I made crackers with. I'm winning on this keto-ish. Check it out. Here it is. Looks darker on camera than it is in real life, but I'm hoping it turns out well. I feel a little nervous because I just wonder about the middle, but it seems okay. I will share the flavor, a taste test also. But it looks good. Smells good. Definitely smell the lemon flavor. So let's see how successful this keto lemon pound cake is. Again, the recipe was from totemptation.com. There was a recipe that was posted from like March of 2018. Had lots of good comments and positive. A couple people have posted like how one person definitely said how theirs didn't turn out right, weren't sure what they didn't do right, and someone else wanted to use lemon juice instead of lemon extract. But I followed the instructions, so hopefully we got good success. All right, we shall see. Gotta let it cool. Great success with the keto lemon cream cheese pound cake. It turned out just fine. It's nice, it's moist, it's definitely lemony, and it is a cake that I will make again.